Good evening, guys. It's Chris. So, I was laying in bed, and I just totally felt compelled to tell you all some stories. As you all know, I have cerebral palsy, which is a disability, and I just thought it would be fun to tell you all some stories about, what it's kind of like for me having a disability. So, I want to paint some pictures for y'all. So, let me start with my first story. I'm in San Francisco, and it's the first time I've ever been there. And I decide I'm gonna go to the Tenderloin District and watch a drag show. Because not only am I disabled, but I am, gay, as you all know too. But, which naturally makes me everything Republican. The Republican politicians love to hate, which is yay for me. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm in San Francisco and I decide to go to the Tenderloin. And I go to this drag show, and I get super drunk, and I'm in my new outfit. I just bought skinny jeans from American Eagle, or no, Urban Outfitters, I'm sorry, and a new shirt and shoes, and so I'm looking all cute, and I'm super drunk. And for some reason, I felt like I was going 90 miles an hour downhill in San Francisco, but I wasn't. I was going 90 miles an hour on flat surface, drunk off my ass, and I kept losing my balance. I kept falling, and people kept telling me, you don't want to go to the Tenderloin District. It's dangerous, it's dangerous, it's dangerous, it's dangerous, but I ignore them, and I go anyway. And so, I'm going down after the drag show, 90 miles an hour, flat surface, and I keep falling, boing, 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 I keep falling and getting back up. And finally, you hear somebody scream out, somebody help that poor crippled boy. I can't stand to watch him fall anymore. And so my friend's just laughing her ass off. Anyway, I thought it was funny. So it might be a complete other ridiculous story, but I thought it was funny. So, anyway, one time, I decide to go and watch one of the most ridiculous movies ever made. And for any of you wondering what that is, it's Hancock with, Will Smith. Usually, I like Will Smith. Mostly, sometimes, okay, not really, but kinda. And so we get out of the movie, and my friend and I decide she's going to the bathroom and I'm waiting. Anyway, this lovely woman and her 19,000 kids and her husband decide to come over to me, and the wife says, God told me you like to walk normally, so we are going to pray for you. And naturally, I'm usually pretty understanding. I'm like, okay. I said to this woman, I'm pretty sure God had this all figured out long before you did, and I'm pretty sure that if God wanted me to walk normally, I would, but if it makes you feel better to pray for me because you have nothing else to do in your existence, then go ahead. So naturally, they all gather around in the circle in the middle of the movie theater and have the prayer circle about, how I'm supposed to walk better, or, how they hope I walk better. I think what would be really interesting if I showed up at their house, knocked on the door, and I'm like, apparently you didn't pray hard enough, because here we are, still walking just the same. My friend comes out of the bathroom and thinks that I have done something really stupid and that this is my fault, and so I have all the people around me. But after I tell her what happened, she gets really pissed off and starts driving like a crazy person, trying to get haul ass out of the movie theater parking lot while she's screaming at the top of her lungs at these horrible people that just, prayed for my soul so I would walk normally or something. I don't know. So, okay, that's story 2. Story 3 is, I went to my parents' house. I was at my parents' house, and, I get there, and they decide they're going to have me start using a walker so I can not put hands on the walls. Not that I particularly do that in the first place, but they didn't want my fingerprints on their walls in case I fell or something. Mind you, I haven't used a walker since I was like 9 or 10 years old, so I'm like, ugh. So anyway, I call my boyfriend, and I'm talking to him, and I move my walker, and he's like, what's it sound? And I said, it's the walker. It's the walker I have to use. And naturally, he goes down this, oh my God, did you hurt yourself kind of path? Whatever. And I'm like, no, my parents make me use this walker. So, he goes, why? And I'm like, because they don't want me to get fingerprints on their wall. I said to him, however, but you can bet I have crashed that walker into every wall I could reach. And that by the time I left their house, that looked like, a bunch of people got together and played bumper cars in their living room. It was awesome. Naturally, next time I go visit, I'll stay in a hotel. Let's see. All of these things have happened a while ago, so I guess they're not as... they're still funny, but I've laughed about them a bunch already, so, I don't know. Let's see. Story 4. Oh, so I went out to sushi with a big group of my friends, on my lunch break at work, and I'm there sitting, eating my sushi, and this big old woman, she's a rather, let's just say, not tiny woman. She runs up to me, throws her arms around me, pulls me into her bosom, and starts, sobbing and wailing about how, courageous I am because I'm in this restaurant eating lunch with all the normal people, and I'm, so courageous, and I should be commended, and blah, 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 and I'm so brave. And the only thing I could muster out to say was, since when do I look like a poodle? I said, am I a poodle to you? And she got all kinds of mortified and stalked off, and my friends were like, get your hands off our friend right now. And so she stalked off, mortified. And for those of you who don't know, I'm 4'10" and 140 pounds. I'm a small person, but I'm a strong person. But I have a tendency to mouth off to people. I've never really, per se, been in a fight, or, at least not in a fight. I wasn't sure I could win. But I guess the good thing about being disabled is nobody's really gonna beat you up if you mouth off to them because they're afraid they're gonna kill you or something. So I guess that's something that's really in my corner. But my boyfriend's biggest fear is that I'm going to mouth off to the wrong person. It's going to be some big old tall man with big bulky muscles or whatever, and I'm going to mouth off to him. And his biggest fear is that I'm going to get killed and dumped in the bushes. And I said, darling, no, this is what is going to happen. I'm going to get killed. I'm going to be torn up into little pieces, stuffed in a brown paper bag, and they're going to show up on your doorstep and be like, I believe this belongs to you, and it's going to be my remains in this bag. I think it's funny to think about because it just amuses me greatly. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure, though, that if I ever do get beat up, I will have well deserved it. And so I have prepared myself for the inevitability of that happening. Let's see. What else? Oh God. I think that's all the stories I can think of for now, so that's about 4 or 5 stories. I hope you guys actually found them funny, and it just wasn't all funny to me. So, leave me comments or feedback of anything you want, and, if you're gonna leave negative comments of, you're gay or you're a fag, don't. I've heard it already. It's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. That's cool. Don't leave those kind of comments, but I would like to hear if some of you have really funny stories, or if any of you have a disability-related funny story, or any kinds of really interesting life stories that come your way, because it just seems that weird things happen to me all the time, and I think that if I ever wrote a book, I would put a lot of these stories into it. Anyway, it is 12:10. Oh, I thought it was 1:10. It's apparently 12:10. So, comment, rate, subscribe, do your thing, leave a video response, whatever you want to do. Good night, guys, and blessed be.